Oh, it's so humid outside. The jungle's just come in from all around and the humidity's shot up. I'm sweating buckets. And there's leaves all over the place. The mutants have been getting more aggressive as well, ever since they came out from their little holes in the ground. And there's tendrils everywhere. As though the Triffids are coming back. But they can't be coming back, can they? I mean, we'd see evidence in here, in the vault itself, and... Oh, that's not a good sign. That flower has been dead for weeks. Or at least, I thought it was dead. And those leaves as well. Well, the undergrowth in here is now very much overgrowth more than anything else. Stove's still going. That's good. We've still got fuel. We're still people. People make things. They make things and they survive. That's what we're doing. Well, that's why I've got this new get-up. I thought, since we're in the middle of the jungle, then I should dress for the occasion, and this is my jungle wear. I think it's pretty good. I've got a pouch for all occasions, and my nice new hat. Thank you very much. Of course, the water is vital. It's got so hot now that the Ice Age is over. And the ambient humidity just makes you drip with sweat. The Triffids are a worry. Very much so. And also the mutants. Let's hope that it doesn't come to anything bigger than it already is. I can't imagine that it will, but you never know. They're sneaky, this new breed of Triffid, this new breed of mutant. Sneakier than we've ever seen before. They're trying to get into the vault in ways that we didn't even fathom when we first built it. I better check the perimeter again.
Oh, it's not much cooler this side of the vault either. I was hoping to get out and make some observations of mutant behaviour, but I think my time's going to be better spent inside looking out for the dinos. There have been a lot of dinos running around lately. I thought I'd only cloned about half a dozen eggs or so, but it seems like Science Club's got a little bit overexcited. The thrill of making a new life form, and they've all gone off and made clutches of their own. So no one really knows how many dinos there are. What would be a really good idea is if we could make a head count, and then we'd know how many clones there are. Because it is only going to be clones. They're all boy dinosaurs after all, they can't breed. But then there was the froggy DNA. Some species in South America, boy frogs, have been known to turn into girl frogs when there are no girl frogs around. And then they can make more baby frogs. But I'm sure that hasn't happened here, no. But I am going to need a hand to make the head count. So I'm going to have to find Rob soon, then he can help me. I haven't seen him around today, actually. I wonder where he's gone to.
Oh, Penny, hi.
Rob, there you are. Where have you been?
I've been out in the jungle, just trying to monitor the situation because it has got really overgrown out there, and there's all sorts of things that I'm not entirely convinced they're going to be our friends as things progress.
Well, maybe you could spend some time inside with me if that's okay.
Oh yeah, sure, what do you need?
We need to do a dino head count.
Right, a dino head count. Okay, well, I mean, how many do you think there are?
Well, I know I cloned about half a dozen or so, but it turns out that the rest of Science Club have been making their own clutches of eggs. So currently, nobody knows how many dinos there are.
Okay. Well, there goes one now, so that's one.
Why don't you go after him, and I'll go that way, and we'll see if we can corral them all together.
Okay, alright, off you go.
Rob, I found one! Have you found any?
Yeah, I managed to catch this little guy. He's a bit agitated, though.
well done.
Yeah, where did you find yours?
I found him with a whole group of others underneath the table in the cloning facility. They're all gathered together. They were packing up an awful fuss.
Mine seems very, very interested in him.
Oh, likewise. Oh, careful, careful.
Yeah, I don't think that was going to be a bite. I think he's just exploring. It has crossed my mind that they must smell very, very similar.
Well, thinking about it scientifically and logically, seeing as they're clones, they would smell the same.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, do you think it's like looking into a kind of mirror?
Ooh, a mirror with the nose.
Nose.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, when I found this little fella, he was actually in quite a large group of them. He was the only one I was able to capture because they all just scattered as soon as I approached them. It was as though they heard some kind of subsonic rumble, a really, really deep noise that only they could hear, and they ran off all over the place.
Well, well done catching the one that you did. It reminds me, though, I've been hearing similar kind of rumbles around the vault. Windows shaking, my glass of water vibrating every so often. I think that there's an even bigger scamp somewhere around the vault.
A bigger scamp?
I think it might even be the original scamp.
Scamp Prime.
If you like, Scamp Prime indeed.
Oh, he must be incredibly big by now.
I dread to think, could you imagine the size of his teeth?
Oh, I don't really want to think about it, to be honest. I mean, it's just... it doesn't bear thinking about at all. The sheer size of the jaws. I mean, even looking at this little fella and how big his mouth is when he opens, he's making little roaring noises now, in fact.
You hear that?
Oh, well, that scamp seems very frayed.
He's definitely running away from something.
Oh, hey, what's that noise?
Oh no, that's the door handle.
Oh no.
Surely it hasn't figured out how to open doors.
Oh my goodness, Penny, look!
Oh gosh!
Look, he's got into the room! He's in the vault itself!
Oh, wait there! I have an idea!
Quickly, hurry, Penny, hurry! Oh, stay back! Back, I tell you! Back, scamp! Bad scamp!
No! Bad scamp! Down right!
No!
Down!
No! You're not allowed inside, scamp!
Out!
Out.
You are for out!
Out! Oh, what a relief!
That was scary there for a moment.
Oh, Penny, you did amazingly! That was fantastic!
Thank you. All I did was use my knowledge of studying him as a little one and just hoped that he remembered us as authority figures.
I think he must have done. I mean, the way he backed off then, I don't think he meant us any harm.
Oh, you might be right, but his size is very imposing right now, and did you see the size of his claws?
I know, and when he rattled the door handle, and then must be very, very intelligent.
He must indeed. He must have rather a large brain in that skull of his.
But, you know, since he's still out in the corridor, and I can hear him now, in fact, that does mean that we are well and truly stuck at home. So since we're stuck at home, why don't we spin a yarn, the likes of which we've never spun before?
That's a very good idea. But why don't we instead weave a tapestry, the likes of which we've never seen before?
I do like the sound of that. But since we're on our toes running after all these precious little items, why don't we lead ourselves on a merry dance, the likes of which we've never danced before?
I think that's a brilliant idea, Rob. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Come on then.
This story is set when the world was young, before the continents had drifted into the places that are oh so familiar to us now, before the before time, before the long, long ago, before the world was a dust bowl covered in nuclear waste, before the ice age that froze us solid, before the jungle made its way into the vault, leaves showing to left and to right, vines reaching for the roof, This story is from the First Nation peoples of a place that we might know as America. The story is about the animals that once lived there. Animals so familiar to us and yet at the same time so unfamiliar, so different. A story about animals that speak and converse, not just with each other, but with the world around them, and live in harmony. Or at least that's what we like to think now. But harmony had not always been the way in which this world existed. There was a creature called Snake. Snake is something that you may be familiar with today, but not this snake. She was large, larger than any snake that exists on the planet now, and she was beautiful. Her scales, all the colours of the rainbow, hues of red and gold, silver, blue, green. And she was in love with the moon. High up in the starlit sky, there he hung, big and round, casting his light all night long. And yet Moon could not see Snake, try as she might to get his attention, because Moon was so high, and she was but a dweller on the ground.
I have loved the moon from afar for oh so long. I love him with my whole heart. I love everything about him. I love how brightly he shines in the night sky. I love how he is there every night when I wake, and I love how he is still there in the morning when I go to sleep. I have been too nervous to say anything till now, but I love him so much I must tell him. Oh, Moon, Moon, I do not know if you know me. I am Snake, and I love you with all that I am. Will you please take me in your arms so we can be together forever?
Snake, I see you, Snake. I see you down on the ground, and I see your love for me is true. But know this, Snake, I can never love you back, for I am high in the sky with the stars, and you are down on the ground with the beasts. We are too far separated for our love to ever come together.
Oh. But no. All that was the problem was that I was too low. So if I climb to the top of the tallest mountain, then I will be high enough and we can be together.
No matter how hard Snake tried to win over the affections of Moon, he would never pay her the attention that she desired. He would never think of her in the way that she desired, as an equal. Although in truth she was as beautiful as he up in the sky. But he couldn't get past her earth-bound ways. That she lived amongst the trees and the grasses that he looked down upon, both physically and in attitude. And the Snake knew this. And so she set out to be closer to Moon. Off into the mountains, and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, through the rocks and across the gravels, through the thorny brush, to the highest peak of the highest mountain in all the land she went. And the way was hard, and she struggled, but she knew in her heart of hearts that when she made it to the top of that highest peak, Moon would have no choice but to accept her into his arms. For she would then be at the same height as he, and he would see her beauty for what it was.
Oh, Moon, Moon, I have done it. I have climbed to the top of the tallest mountain, and we can be together forever. Please take me in your arms. Do it quickly. This mountain is unstable and likely to fall. Please take me with you. I love you so.
Snake, I see you on the cliff's edge, but you are still so far beneath me. I'm afraid our love can never be. I can never hold you in my arms. I will be sorry to see you fall, but I'm afraid fall you must. The ground underneath Snake immediately gave way. It crumbled and fell away down the cliffside on which she was stood. And with it, Snake went too. She fell. She fell for what seemed like an age, despair clutching at her heart.
The mountain is crumbling. I'm falling.
Snake hit the ground hard, and as she did so, she shattered into a million pieces. Each scale exploding outwards in a shower of colour. Her heart broken, and her body broken as well. And as each of those single scales, bright and colourful as they were, touched the ground once more, they became a snake unto themselves. Snake the one became Snake the many, shattered as a being and physically broken. She went out into the brush and into the bushes thereabouts and became all the snakes of the world. And to this day, Snake has never forgiven the moon for what he did, encouraging her and then rejecting her so fully. And so any hand reached out in kindness is bitten by Snake. She never truly trusted again. For what betrayal could be worse than that of Moon, who looked down on her as she looked up to him and gave her nothing but disdain.
Oh, what a story.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
I really liked it. I mean, it was quite sad, but I liked it a lot.
In a lot of ways, it was really sad. The way that the snake was so besotted with the moon.
Some might say obsessed in a way.
Yeah, very much so. And yet, I really felt for her.
Oh, she suffered such heartbreak at the end there.
Yeah, so much so that she shattered herself to a million pieces and broke apart into all of the snakes of the world.
Yeah, the moon was so mean.
So mean, and she was so beautiful. All of those scales and all of the colours.
She was really beautiful. If only she'd been able to see that herself rather than trying to get someone else to show her a bit of love.
Yeah, I totally agree. If she'd been able to see the worth inside herself, because everyone's got worth inside themselves, but sometimes it's hard to see it, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it takes a lot of work to see it on the inside, but it's always worth it in the end, I feel.
Very much so, very much so. And, you know, as a net result, we get all of the snakes in the world, and aren't they beautiful?
I do like snakes a lot. Although, I do find that they're quite bitey sometimes. Do you think that's why? Because their great ancestor was shunned by the moon?
That might be the reason. Yeah, it's a very good reason at the very least. Whether it's the reason or not, I don't know. But it is certainly a very good reason and an interesting point. Yeah.
I think the moon could have acted a bit better, personally.
Well, yeah. Was not a very friendly moon at the end of things. And, you know, the snake had gone all the way up to the top of the highest mountain, and the moon didn't even appreciate it.
I didn't even say thank you or anything, thought he was so much higher up and better than the snake.
All high and mighty. Moon. Ugh.
Anyway, I thought you did a wonderful job telling the story. So much so that I want to get you a surprise.
Oh, a surprise!
Yeah, and I think, because that story lulled Scamp into a lovely snooze, that I can go outside and get you some fresh ones. Just wait there.
Fresh ones. Fresh what? Fresh mutants? I don't want fresh mutant. Fresh. Had that already.
Look at these!
Oh,
Fresh
wow.
jungle fruits!
Jungle food!
When was the last time you saw fresh fruits?
I've never seen a fruit like that ever in my life.
Isn't it wonderful?
They're crazy! They are amazing! And look at all the little wobbly bits on them.
Yeah, I just found them growing out there. The last time I went out to do some mutant observations, they were just growing on the jungle trees.
That's pretty... They're not triffid fruits, are they?
I don't know. I hope not. I mean, they've got these funny tendrily bits that look a little bit triffidy, but...
They are purple, like the inside of a triffid as well.
Yeah. Maybe you should cut it open and keep the seeds, and then we can find out.
Okay, yeah, that seems like a perfectly reasonable idea. If we keep the seeds, and maybe if we plant a couple of them, and then we can find out whether they were triffid or not.
Seems like a good idea to me.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really going to enjoy these. Fantastic.
Well, I thought you could cut them open. You could have a nice fresh fruit salad.
Fruit salad? Salad! With, celery. Do you remember celery?
Oh, I remember celery, the way it used to crunch when you bit into it.
The long one.
The long one, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Brilliant. Oh, I'm going to go prepare these right now. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. I think you're going to really enjoy those fruits. Ooh, I might go see if I can find some for myself, actually. Yes, I'm going to head out.
Oh, wow. Oh, jungle fruits is good. Gosh, a really unique flavour, actually.
Oh, we cut one open.
Yeah.
What's it like?
Look, well, it's got all these little things in. They're a little bit bitter. Just pop that down there. Cut you off a bit, because
Oh, yes, please.
yeah, I think you're really going to like it.
I haven't had fruits in so long.
I wouldn't eat the rind though.
Yeah,
It's got that kind of numbing thing that the triffid had. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, you know the juice inside the triffid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the same kind of
Maybe
effect.
tongue tingle. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a note of that in my log. That's nice.
It's good, right?
Oh.
Mmm.
Oh, yeah.
You get stuck into
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Here. Take hold of that.
Oh, thanks.
Got another half down there.
Amazing.
Hi.
Hi.
We just want to say a big thank you right now to everyone who has donated to keep this going for as long as it has. We owe you big time. But we would like to keep going for longer. So, if you could, there's a donation. Go to www.paypal.me/Strange-Twig and give what you can. We'll take literally anything. At this point, because we're in a rainforest, how about a sou'wester?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or waterproofing for boots. Some gaiters would be great. Or if you have a spare Bowie knife hanging around, we certainly wouldn't say no to that.
I certainly wouldn't.
So please do give what you can. Help keep our nonsense in the world because we love making it. We love being crazy for you. And we really hope you love us being crazy for you as well. Thanks. It's very unexpected flavour.
So nice.
Very refreshing though, isn't it?
Oh.
You said you found them outside.
Yeah, I did. Just growing there.
Right. I'm going to get a basket and see if I can find some more.
Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm going to stay here, finish this one off. All for me.